Sanbona, I have a few seconds to let you know what this is about. So I'm going for an assessment test for a job interview. So an assessment test is like the first step, and then if you pass it, and then you proceed to the actual interview. So I am just briefly going through my notes. Oh, sorry. I'm just going through like my notes, like certain acts and stuff, and I'm also looking at the departmental alignment to government plans and strategy. So this is an internal post bar from a different district. So I thought, let me just vlog this process. I'll update you as I go, and I think after the test as well, I'm just going to give you like a brief summary of how I felt about it, how I thought I did, because I think we're going to know later today or even tomorrow of the results of the test. And obviously, if one does not make it through, it becomes the end of the journey. So I'm not going to be shy about it. If that happens, yeah, we're going to talk about it. But if it doesn't, because that's the main objective, is for it not to happen. So I'm just going through this like last minute type of thing. But I'm quite confident with the preparation that I've embarked on, and as far as content is concerned and logistics as well. I'm early. I have 1 more hour to drive, and that is going to have me be like 2 hours early than the assessment time. So yeah, let's have the conversation after writing this test. Bye. Little update, I'm back in Dundee. So this is like probably 8 hours later, or say 6 hours later. What time did I speak to you? I spoke to you earlier, just before 9, and it's just after 4:30 right now. So I'm back in the office. I wanted to update you earlier. I need to put foundation here because I just washed it and it got removed. So that's why it's looking white. So somebody's calling me. So I just got here and I want to give you an update. I wrote the test and I felt good about it, but I just got a call that is inviting me to the second round, which is like the final round, the oral interview. So we're writing a selection test because like there was a lot of us. So we had to write an assessment, a written assessment, which was a lot, but I enjoyed writing because I had prepared. Like, I think if you thoroughly prepared, you enjoy. But it would have gone any other way. I'm just saying this. So I'm going back on Friday. Let's see how that goes and how much I can vlog. I need to go rest my eyes. Like I woke up at 4 in the AMs and I left home at 5. I came here to take this car. Is there somebody outside? I came here to take this car and I've been driving ever since. My knees are failing me right now. They are even wobble. Angathi nje nginami umlenze anguzwa kahle. That's how much I've driven today. But I'm grateful for one thing, for safe traveling mercies, and the fact that this car is in one piece, no scratch whatsoever. Sometimes we take things for granted, but I'm grateful to God because the paperwork I have to be subjected to. Plus, I love this car. Like, I sincerely adore. I love it as if it were mine. So let me just go bath, eat, sleep. I'm not going to read anything because I prepared last night for the past few days. So last night was quite intensive because I just wanted to sleep, like feeling, why I'm saying feeling very confident about the type of content I've injected myself with. I needed the level of confidence that I could recite it without even blinking or whatever. So that's how far I pushed myself. I'll speak to you guys on Friday, which is 3 days from now, Friday or Thursday. So yeah, this does not matter because I'm not going to post this like prematurely. I'm going to post it at the right time, regardless of how Friday goes. Even if it does not go my way, I'll still post this for any like lessons that can be taken out of the entire experience. I've talked too much. This is my chart. I don't have a lot. It's just different acts and definitions and mandates. So the side is just me trying to link everything to make it make sense for me and in connection with the post I'm contesting for. So yeah, this is it in a nutshell, and I think it's gonna assist me. And I also have these notes over here that starts from this page to all over. So I'm trying to transfer what is here to a bigger chart so that I know that moving on, I'm just going to focus on just this one bigger chart just to, go over and summarize everything. But this is it in a nutshell. Yeah, man, I think it's going to benefit me. You can take this, don't take it. It's up to you. Like, really, it's not like a prescribed method, but it is going to work for me. Thank you for watching this section. Please do not forget to subscribe. I'm tired. If you can't pick that up, then I don't know, like I'm really exhausted. Let me go to sleep. I am at the hotel. This is the day before my interviews. This is how messed up my room is. I just wanted to show you. It's getting real over here. This is my face mask that I'm enjoying and liking these days. So I've covered Stay Easy before. This is all my stuff. This is how bad it is. It's bad. These are my shoes and the blazer I'm wearing tomorrow. Those are my notes that I'm about to go through like one last time. And I'm trying to iron my dress that I'm going to wear tomorrow. It's over there. And I was having dinner. Like, it's a mess. It's a mess. I'm not going to lie. It's a mess, and it's starting to get real. Like, you've seen this hotel before on this channel. So this is it. Stay Easy Pietermaritzburg. And this is my bathroom. For once, not even for once, but I wish I had like a bathtub, because I was just gonna soak myself, till I feel better or even fall asleep. So I'm in my Barcelona shirt and these track pins that I bought from Zara. So this is it. I just wanna finish like a few preps, but I'm so concerned and caught up and making sure that my content is up to date. Check out my socks. Look at those. Yeah. I'd be lying if I tell you that I'm not nervous. I'm just praying for one thing, that I'm going to be able to apply myself. I'm going to be able to be the best version of who I am, the person that I know myself to be. That is in my prayer. But what's in this channel, we don't pray like last minute. We don't do last minute prayers. So yeah. These are my acts: Public Service Act, National Crime Prevention Strategy, White Paper on Safety and Security, and But I showed you yesterday. I think I showed you like kancane. I showed you kancane. So this is Civilian Secretariat Act number 2 of 2011 and the Constitution section 206. Here, like I was discussing a few things. I'm about to write a few more pages and call it a day. So it makes sense to me. It probably would not make sense to you. Nkosi yami, let me try and sleep early. Sizoxoxa kodwa-ke it is what it is. There's no turning back at this point. Like, we're going in and we're going hard. And let's see. Anything can happen, and yeah, I'm not going to push myself to now the extremes. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. That's where I am in terms of like my mental right now, because I've pushed, man. I've pushed, and I know the work I've put in already. Hi, this is the most important part of this video, and I'm so mad right now because I forgot my tripod, my mini tripod, that is. So engine go dark, like it's really dark, and I don't even know where to put y'all because like I'm not happy with okay, I guess I'm gonna keep you here for as long as I'm going to be able to project. It's a bit gray. Is it me or it's gray? Oh my God. I'll hate to have to reshoot this. Okay, let's try this side with the door open. Please pardon me if I look towards this way. I'm trying to figure out the perfect, or even like the good angle, but I know I'm not going to get the perfect angle right now because I don't have my ring lights and I don't have my tripod. Okay, so I'm going to keep you here. I think it's a bit better with the door open. So I got the job. Just in case you have not figured that out yet. So I got the job. So, how was the process for me? The preparation process was a mayhem. It was the most tension-filled time ever of this interview, because I was preparing, and I could feel that my body was exhausted. I wanted to sleep at some point, but I could not let myself sleep, because in my mind I was thinking, because the interview was on Friday, right? So I was thinking I can even sleep early. I can sleep at 6 in the evening till, I don't know, whatever time. I cannot sleep right now before I can personalize this crime prevention strategy. For example, I needed to personify and personalize different aspects of my preparations. As you would have seen earlier in this video, is there something that I wish I would have done differently? Of course, number one, I was supposed to take leave. I don't know why I did not think of this whilst I was preparing, because remember, we started writing the selection test or the assessment test, which was like an extended type of shortlisting, because there was like a lot of us. So when HR called us, they said, we're going to write a test on Tuesday, and if you make it, you're going to move into the interview process, like the verbal interview process, on that very same week, Friday. So Tuesday you write the test, Friday you also write the test. So that involved a lot of traveling, like 237 Ks from where I was, times that by 2. So you can imagine, as soon as I was about to leave the N11, deviating towards Glencoe Dundee, HR called me. That was on Tuesday. HR called me to invite me for an interview on Friday. Oh my God, I was so excited, so exhausted. But then the reality sank in, the reality that I needed to prepare. At that stage, I didn't know much in terms of who was moving into the interview phase or whatsoever. Okay, I also did not mention that we were like 74 plus or 72 plus in total. And all of us, if I am correct, all of us wrote that assessment test. So the test was comprised of 2 questions. One question was about how to handle complaints, and then the second question was about domestic violence. I'm not going to bore you and go into details in terms of how these questions were phrased or anything like that. Please do pardon me, because I'm trying to speak so fast because I'm holding my phone with my left hand and I don't want to get tired. So I should have taken leave, because that meant, because that Tuesday, don't count that Tuesday, because that Tuesday had its own preparation. But what, okay, let me finish about what I wish I could have done differently. So then I was only left with a Wednesday. If you think about it, Thursday was going to be for traveling, because I did not want to risk it. Well, fine, for an assessment test, I thought I was going to be able to manage having to drive a long distance just before I could rise. But with the interview, it was a bit tricky and different, because I always preach on this very same channel that you need to eliminate any possible threats or any possible thing that might throw you off the morning of the interview. So I do not want to be indicating from tracks, different lanes to different lanes in the day of the interview. I needed to be very sane, very composed, very assured the morning of that interview. The last thing I wanted was to maneuver between lanes, driving to the N3 and whatever, through the N3 that is. So I wish I could have done that differently. Then the interview process itself, nothing much, except I could have managed my time better. I could have managed my time better. I think it's the way I'm seated. Tell me, why am I sitting like this? Like my entire body is faced towards that side, and you here. Tell me, why am I doing that? Why am I straining my lower body and my arm? So yeah, time management is very important as well, but I was able to cover a whole lot of things. A whole lot of things, about the fact that you need to pace yourself and things like that. Oh my God. So it got to a point where I was like, I don't care that now. I don't care about pacing myself. All I want to do right now and all I'm concerned about is to see everything. Because I had gone through intensive preparation process. You've seen earlier in this video. I think I've captured most of my preparation processes. So that worked for me. So, and then, oh, what also worked for me, I got somebody to mentor me through the process, which was Mr. Makatini. So Mr. Makatini was our previous manager, but I didn't get to spend much time with him because I joined the districts on the 1st of April 2021, and then Mr. Makatini moved end of May. You know what I mean? April, May, end of May or end of June. So we had a mere 2 months, or like less than 2 months. But I knew that I needed somebody to mentor me. Again, I have preached about the importance of having somebody who is enlightened, somebody who could be relevant for that position that you are contesting for. So for me, that was Mr. Makatini. Oh my God, the way he just opened himself up to assist me in this process, I will be forever grateful. Because, mind you, it was a Tuesday, coming back to write an assessment test, and that also had its own preparation. You know, I prepared as if I was going to the interview already, because I didn't know questions. You know what I mean? I didn't know the questions that were going to be asked. But because I had been shadowing somebody in my district who was doing the very same function I was contesting for, I knew something along and within the lines of the function itself was going to come up. But I didn't stop there. I did all my acts, all my skills and my knowledge and my whatever, hence that preparation. So I even went to the national instructions. I even went to National Development Plan Vision 2030. That was just for the test. Hear me correctly. It was just for the test. But it assisted me moving into the interview process because I did not start from scratch on a Wednesday. That was a Wednesday because it was just going towards 4 on Tuesday when I got that call from our HR. So I just made sure that prior to that, the goal was for me to move to the interview processes. But I knew that in order for that to happen, I needed to intensify my preparation for the assessment test because I did not know what was going to be asked. So I had quite a broad preparation, and that worked for me. 8 minutes, so it's not bad. So I wanted to say something again. So yes, I looked for a mentor. Mr. Makatini mentored me. So I called him, I think on a Thursday or Wednesday evening or Wednesday afternoon. I'll put the message somewhere if I can find it on my archives. I'm going to put the message and we'll probably see the time frame. But I sent him this message saying I really need his help. I know it's short notice, blah, blah, blah. But he just jumped to it, and he also said, but we don't have enough time. And then I concurred, but it did not stop him. Almost everything, not almost everything we prepared with Mr. Makatini, I sang it like it was a chorus from the hymn, the Anglican hymn or whatever. I sang it to the T. Okay? And then, what else? Okay. I want to talk about my state of exhaustion as I was preparing. It got to a point where I had this massive headache. And then I just figured out that, you know, I need to sleep. In as much as I was depriving myself of sleep, it was so crazy. The minute you close your eyes, you're dozing off, and you remember, I need to personalize section 206 of the Constitution of South Africa. And you just wake up like Undertaker. You pop like a toast and you're like, what? Am I going to sleep? Do I want this opportunity or not? And then you go back to your notes. It was hell. It was hell, but I managed to do it. I need to take this call. Who's calling me? 3:06. Okay, let's just finish up. Let's finish up. Oh, I must take it. Oh, let me talk about my spiritual preparations. It was crazy, and it just happened that this interview came during the time when my mom was on a prayer and fasting season. So I just knew in my head that I needed somebody to be interceding for me. The amount of support I received from my family, from my sister Undu. One thing I learned about this entire experience, one of the things that I learned from it, and this isn't as far as preparation is concerned, is the fact that we need references. And the type of references that I'm referring to right now are not the type of references that you're thinking. We need a family reference. We need somebody in the family that we are going to be reminding ourselves of. And in my instance, it was my father. I've spoken about my dad on this platform. I have touched on the fact that he was the most intelligent man I have ever seen. Till date, I am yet to see a man that I'm going to agree with. I know that was never the case. So, I moved into this experience, especially the Friday of the interview, knowing exactly whose I was, because I was like, no, man, my dad was the most intelligent man, and if I have some of his genes, even if it's just like 20%, I'll still be a great person. And this was an intelligence type of assessment or test. So I needed to remind myself of that. That was also a spiritual ritual that I had to remember. And I remember my sister sent me this beautiful message on the day of the interview saying, please activate the spirit of our Father, because our Father is the most, she used as present tense. She said our Father is the most intelligent man ever, dead or alive. Oh my God, I cannot explain how much that assured me moving into this space, because this is a space that is going to test your confidence. In as much as you can know all the questions, are you selling it to the panelist? Yes, you know the answers to the questions, but are you convincing? And the only way you can be convincing, even to somebody who was not clued up at that time with the Department of Community Safety and Liaison, and not even clued up, perhaps I'm making it sound bad, because in one of the panelists was somebody external, okay, HOM, who comes from office la MEC. So that's as far as I'm going to say. I'm not going to dig deep into the reasons why that happened, because the purpose of this video is not that. So in order for me to be able to sell whatever I was saying to even him, who's not that familiar, I'm going to use the word familiar, who's not that familiar with our functions and our operations. So I had to sell it to him, and I think I did so well. I need to complete this video. This person keeps on calling me. I need to complete this video because I cannot have like disjointed clips. That happened to me, and I was praying. One thing about prayer is that these are type of situations that you pray about in advance without even knowing. The minute you send out your applications, and constantly, if you are somebody who is prayerful, who believes in prayer, you constantly pray for these things. And in my prayers, I was like, Lord, please don't take away this mantle. I believe that interviews are my forte, and if the statement is going to make you cringe, this video is not for you. I'm not coming out here to brag, but there's a paper trail of what I'm talking about. And if you don't know what that is, please go through my videos. I said, Lord, I cannot fail at a question that says, tell us more about yourself. I refused. I was like, there is no way, no muti from hell, no Satan from his coven or whatever that is going to make me fail at a subject that I'm always teaching on. Not really always, but you know what I'm trying to say. That was in my prayer. I was like, Lord, please give me something tangible to come and share with my subscribers, to come and share with my job seekers, because this is actually the first interview that came after all the videos and the content that I put out there under the series job preparedness. Please forgive me, I'm a bit tired. So that was my prayer as well. You need to pray. I don't know how much am I going to say this. Do whatever you believe in. If you believe in, I've said this before, if you believe in passion, I'm a dual believer, by the way, and if that is also going to make you cringe, this video is not for you, or even the channel, or you can just eat the meat and throw away the bones. I'm a dual believer, and I had to also tap into that African spirituality and say, Momkhulu, nansi task. Ngiyazi ningembethe makhehla amadala. Nansi kimpi, ngiyanazi nini ukuthi nani ngamadoda ezimpi. Aningazi nehluleka ngamakhehla emfihlakalo aphathiswe amandla. Nansi kimpi engibhekene nayo. There was no way I was going to ignore that part of my life when my ears are speaking on a daily. If you know what I mean, you know. But if you don't know, you will know some other time. My ears are speaking on a daily, and I had this huge task that I was supposed to embark on, and I was supposed to ignore that part of me? Absolutely no way. Absolutely no way. One thing about me and this channel, we're just going to speak it. I was praying on the other side. My mom was on a prayer and fasting. It was not even the fact that she fasted for this, but look at God and the Holy Spirit. One thing about God, He's going to prepare you. Sometimes you are going to be prompted to pray and you won't even know why you are prompted to pray. Say 2 days after, 3 days after, and then you get to learn of the situation and you're thinking to yourself, oh, I was praying for this. Every time and every moment where you feel like praying, just pray. Sometimes you will have that spirit of heaviness within you that you can't figure out yet. Please pray at that very moment, because somebody could depend on that prayer. So my mother was already on a fasting and prayer, but this interview just came after that. And I was like, look at God. My mom could not even eat on the day. The prayers of my mother were finally answered. My mom could not even eat. When I called her after writing the assessment test, and she was like, oh, okay, that was the same thing even when I went for my driving license years ago. She said the same thing. Please give me food. Now I can eat, because I was not eating. Just waiting to hear how well you went. Uhambe kanjani. This is just like a direct translation. Uhambe kanjani. May we become those type of parents. May we become those type of women. Esizofasa khona izinkalo zethu iqine zithi uma ingane yethu ihambe empini iyobhekana nempi of whatever kind. May we become those type of people and those type of parents. Singadli sithi nje Nkosi yami enye into iqhamuka evalweni lokuthi uthukile kazi umntanami umntanami this umntanami that, you know. But in that moment I knew that my mother was praying. My sister also asked me what time is my interview, and then she had me up. She reminded me, coach, there's no way I was going to fail at a mental or at an intelligence type of test. Either way, I was going to share my experience. We also learn from failures, I'm going to put it like that, or we also learn from missed opportunities. Let's rather use that terminology. So I am currently at work, not at work, work. I was working here Kanongoma in my new responsibility. I am going to smile when I say this, and I'm going to do what I'm doing right now, because it was not easy when I was preparing. So if you're going to decide to talk whatever you're going to decide to talk and mention my name in this, just remember one thing. I don't care. I was going to say I don't give a whatever, but I'm not going to say that. But just know I don't care. You don't even matter for that matter. We are rhyming. You don't even matter for that matter. One thing I knew is that his will, his plan, his purpose was always going to prevail. I could tell you more about this now, but because this video is already long, I'm not going to tell you. Perhaps when we talk some other time, I don't know when, I will tell you why I'm saying icebo lakhe lingevinjwe. Icebo lakhe lingevinjwe. Asujobe kukodwa nje ngikwaziyo. Ngiyazi ukuthi wena ungenza konke. Lingevinjwe icebo lakho. You know, while I was waiting for this time. So I went to the interviews on the 11th of August, and I was called the day after the public holiday. You do your own math. I'm tired. I can't even think. It was the 26th. Yeah, it was the 26th because the 24th was on Sunday. I knew one thing. As I was waiting, I prayed. I was like, Lord, because I knew I could assess myself after the interview. But I did not go out blowing my own horn, telling everybody, no, you must not do that. You must never do that. Even before the interview, do not underestimate anybody. Don't. Do not, because that is going to be your biggest downfall. People have gods. And you think if they're going to get shortlisted, do you think they can't beat you? Who do you think you are? Like seriously, who do you think you are? Never underestimate people and their capabilities. You must not do that. Even if you come straight from Satan's coven, you don't do that. So I did not go out saying Ang Shaile. The first person I called was my mom. So I went to the parking space, which was like a walking distance from the head office where the interviews were. I just walked there and I called my mom again because I knew she was not eating for that first part of the morning. The less she had was just water. So I had to call her and I was like, Mom, one thing, I think my opening statement was, whoever is going to get this post, whoever is going to get hired, if it's not me, I will congratulate them and I will shake their hand, because that would have meant they know their story to the extremes. That was just, I don't know, the rest. It says this is an internal post, but internal in terms of like the department, but from a different districts. I said to her, sizohlangana kuma summit, kuma award ceremonies, kuma events, and I will go to him or her and ngithi hayi ngiyakubongela but ngiyakuhlonipha nje kakhulu. Ngiyakuhlonipha ngoba you were able to surpass what I thought I delivered. But I wasn't saying this out of surety of being sure ukuthi no, I still did not know at the time. I was like, I don't know. Because even Usihle from IT, who assisted me a lot, because he picked me up where I was booked, this and that. I did not call him. So I went to his office to take his car keys because I was going to wait in his car. And he asked me and I was like, Sihle, every question that was posed to me, I responded to, and to the best of my ability. Kuzoya ngokuthi abanye abantu baphendule kanjani. Abanye abantu baphendule. Do not underestimate people. That is going to be your biggest downfall. Even after the interview, because my mom was my mom. Then I was like, making those statements, but I honestly meant them. Bengizoya kuyena ngithi hayi ngiyavuma, hayi ngiyakuvuma. Ngiyakuvuma. Mainly because I was the only one from the department that made it through the assessment test. I was the only one from the department that made it through to the final interview sessions. So that meant whoever was responding was not responding insightfully, in a sense that I was speaking of relevant terms of this and that, which does not necessarily mean if you are not from that department or from that corporate, you cannot make it or get the job. No, it doesn't. In my first interview, I was coming from the private sector when I joined the department in 2019. I am still going to pinch myself because of how God has been. You know, I was just looking at that previous video that I posted and I was just browsing. So I filmed that in May this year. I was just browsing, trying to clean my phone, deleting all content, this and that. And I came across this video and I listened to my prayer. I was like, oh my God, everything I prayed about in that video has finally come to pass. And you need to watch that video. Let me end this video by saying, please do subscribe. I know this is Vlogtober season. I'm about to drop a Vlogtober episode, I think next week. And yeah, thank you so much. Please get interactive, comments, and I'm even sweating. Please pardon me with the noise happening in my surroundings. Bye.